Welcome to my new video, ladies and gentlemen. In this video we'll talk about this interesting post that I saw on Reddit. The post says the following. My son's third grade teacher taught my son that 1 divided by 0 is 0. I wrote an email to tell her that it's not 0. She then doubled down and CC'd the principal. The principal responded saying the teacher is correct. What do I do now? In this video I will focus on the math and not telling the parent what he or she should or should not do. The question that we are tackling is, what is 1 divided by 0? Here I will show you one of personal favorite ways to convince people that 1 divided by 0 is undefined. This way is also good because it is at the 3rd grade level. At the start, as our first point, let's review division. We are going to review the following. Let's divide 8 by 2. So 8 divided by 2, we all know that this is equal to 4. Why do we know that? Simple, because 2 multiplied by 4 is equal to 8. But the question is, how do we work that out? If this first number, number 8, in our case is bigger, we can do long division. So let's put number 8 inside a bracket like this. And then let's put the second number outside. The second number is number 2, so it goes in front of the bracket number 8. The question you are going to ask yourself at this point is, 2 goes into 8 how many times? And the answer is 4. So we will put number 4 here. And 4 multiplied by 2 is equal to 8. And then we are going to subtract number 8 here, and that is going to give us 0. And this 0 here is the remainder. If the remainder is 0, you are done, and this is the answer. So 8 divided by 2 is equal to 4. Let's now switch places. Let's observe the following problem. 2 divided by 8. And we need to calculate how much that is. Again, we are going to use the long division. Let's put number 2 inside the bracket like previously, and the remaining number, number 8, is going to go in front of that bracket. So how many times does 8 go into 2? That is 0 times. So we are going to write number 0 up here. We are not going to stop here. This is just 2, so we want to continue. Now what you want to do is put down decimal, and put down decimal here also. And then you can put down 0 here. And then you are going to look at a problem with numbers 8 and 20. How many times does 8 go into 20? 2 times, because 2 multiplied by 8 is 16. So we are going to put number 2 here, and then 2 multiplied by 8 is 16, and we are going to subtract that, which is going to give us the value of 4. We can continue because the number we got is 4. Now let's put here another 0. Of course, that 0 comes from here. Why is there a 0? Well, 2.0 is the same as 2.00. The question is, how many times is the number 8 contained in number 40? That is 5 times. So we are going to put number 5 up here. 5 multiplied by 8 is 40. And when we subtract that, we finally get 0. The remainder is 0, and we are done. So the answer for 2 divided by 8 is this number up here, 0.25. Now that I have demonstrated how the algorithm for dividing two numbers works, we can go and tackle our problem from the beginning. If we have 1 divided by 0 and that is equal to some value, how do we calculate it? Well, 1 goes inside the bracket and the 0 goes in front of it. So, can you think of a number that multiplies to 0 and gives a result of 1? Can we say that the answer is 19? 19 multiplied by 0 is equal to 0. And if you subtract 0 from this point, you get 1. This didn't do anything. We clearly see that 19 is not the answer. Let's try a different number. So again, we have 1 inside of the bracket and 0 in front of it. Let's try the number 0. If we say 0, then 0 multiplied by 0 is 0. So 1 minus 0 is, just 1. So we again get 1. So 0 is also not the number that we are looking for. It doesn't matter which number you put here. If you multiply any number with 0, you always get 0. X multiplied by 0 is always 0. X can be any number. So for any number x that you put here, x multiplied by 0 is 0 and 1 minus 0 is always 1. So we are always going to get this number 1 here. It doesn't matter what you try, this will always fail to work. There is no number that multiplied by 0 gives 1. So the fact is that here when we say 1 divided by 0 is equal to something, we can't use the sign of equality, as it is not equal to anything. So the correct answer is 1 divided by 0 is undefined. That means that there is no answer for this. A matter of fact is that you can have any number divided by 0 and that is always going to be undefined. This is just computation. I am not going to extend the story in the realm of analysis or algebra. One note that I will say here is that when you work in higher levels of algebra, you will encounter some obscure algebraic structures in which it is possible to divide by 0. But the problem with those algebras is that they can't be applied to anything, so they are just left there as one of the dead ends of theoretical mathematics. But I digress. I have observed that some people get mixed up with undefined or 0. I think that the reason for this is this question. 0 divided by 1 is equal to what? By using long division, the first number is 0, so we are going to put it in the bracket, and the remaining number is 1. The second number goes in front of the bracket. So what are we going to do here? 1 goes into 0 0 times. 0 multiplied by 1 is 0, and when you subtract 0 from 0, you get 0. So the remainder here is 0, and this 0 right here is the answer. Remember, whenever you see 0 here at the end of the calculation, this number here, whichever it is the answer. So the answer for 0 divided by 1 is equal to 0. So here is the difference. 1 divided by 0 is undefined, and 0 divided by 1 is equal to 0. You should definitely know the difference. There are also many more levels in which we can have a conversation of what is 1 divided by 0 and why that is undefined. but for a third grade students, this is enough. So thank you for watching and I'll see you in a different video.